Hey guys, how are we doing? Me? I'm fine. To be honest, I've just been kind of like chilling at home. Woke up late, had some Chinese food. Drew a bit actually. I've been kind of getting into drawing recently after watching Look Back. I don't know. Um, I still have. I had. Oh, what I eat? Oh, I had some sweet and sour chicken with some dumplings and some rice. Ooh, I love putting soy sauce on my rice. And earlier in the morning for like breakfast, it was more like what I ate before I went to sleep. Um, was some yogurt and some fruit. Yeah. Anyways, oh dilly dally. I just finished volume one of Chainsaw Man, another manga written by Tatsuki Fujimoto, my goat. I've read this before online, but I'm kind of like just reading it again, so then I can give you guys like, I don't know, it looks like I have fat rolls. Meh. So I can give you guys like my review, like my half analysis, half review. So we start off the story meeting a boy named Denji, right? And Denji's like a brokey. Like it literally starts off like, oh, he sold his nut, he sold his eye, he sold his like what his kidney? Yeah. So like he's definitely a brokey, but then he has like this pet that's like called a devil, which is like kind of the monsters of this world. So his pet, him and his pet team up to kill these other monsters and then sell it to the mafia that that he's in debt to because his father killed himself. Oh, sorry, spoilers for like the entire manga, like throughout the parts, because like I'm gonna get through all of them. I don't know if I'll do part two. We'll start with part one, see if I enjoyed it, and if not, then we won't do part two. It's fine. So Denji's like chilling out. He's walking, just doing some math. Swallows a cigarette for some money, really to show you just like how desperate he is, you know? This guy he just wants to live a life like the life that we do. And it's crazy that some people in the world actually do live the life that Denji does. Not like with the monsters, but like doing whatever they can to make money. I hope I'm not like that when I'm older. I hope I'm able to live in a nice house with this girl I like. And I wanna have a farm when I'm older. You know, I'm just gonna pause the book for a sec. Like, the future is so scary. I'll be honest, it's like terrifying. But at the same time, I feel like it's not gonna wait for us. Like, there's a one song I listened to a long time ago. I used to be really into it. It's like, can't the future just wait? Bum 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 bum. Can't the deadlines come fashionably late? I could push every goal back, take control back as they roll back the rate at which time starts to fly. Dude, I love that song. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a really good song about like, well, it's kind of self-explanatory. He wants more time to do things. Chat, is the hair fine? I think the hair's fine. I think yeah, the hair's fine. I wish it was like actually presentable for y'all. Who cares? Who cares? It's for me, you know? Alright, future scary. I don't like I wouldn't call myself an introverted person. Recently I've been like kind of a shut-in, which like I'm kind of mixed about. It's just like sometimes people are so much for me and like I just like feel like I'm about to shut down whenever I hang out too long. But then I just plug in my earphones, kind of stay quiet for a while and maybe later, like I feel up for it, you know? It's just like I feel like my social battery is drained a bit. Not going to school hasn't helped that. I haven't interacted with like people in person too much outside of my friends and my mother's friends. So yeah, back to the manga. Um, Denji's kind of like just chilling right now. No, he's not chilling. Sorry. We were talking about how people actually live in this life of like being in debt constantly. I think this is the future of America, to be honest. I think lots and more people are going to start struggling and homeless rates are going to increase, even though if they're high as they are, because, well, nothing changes, it's just the way it's gonna be. So then we get a bit of a backstory of Denji and his pet, Pochita, which is like a cute little chainsaw dog. Y'all can see. This is Pochita. He's cute. I like him. He's not in the story for very long though. I mean, he's in the story, but like he doesn't play like an acting role. So they're sleeping, and then Denji gets called in for a job. You can actually really see the love for Tatsuki for Fujimoto's movies here. Like this entire fight scene with cause like okay, sorry, I'm skipping. Denji gets stabbed in the back by the people he's paid by to collect debt because the people that he's like paying or working for wanted to make a deal with the zombie devil. This is the zombie devil. Focus? Yeah, this is the zombie devil. But then those people go crazy because it's too much power, and then Denji gets killed. He gets killed. No, he doesn't. Pochita reassembles his body back together and replaces his heart. So now, and then like when Denji leaves, like he comes back to life now. So then, so then we get like a more of a flashback about like Denji talking about his dreams. Dreams are amazing, by the way. Watched a show recently called Kamen Rider 01. I still have to talk about Kamen Rider Bill. This is a different video. This is Chainsaw Man. And like 01, the whole thing was about the future of artificial intelligence and how artificial intelligence can be used for positive things to make people smile and laugh. And I think like the artificial intelligence in there was more of like cyborgs and not artificial intelligence, you know, that like we have that requires prompts, but more if they're based off of a job and then they can work for that job. I think me personally, like in the show, they get hacked and stuff, and it's like then they become the bad guys. It's weird. I like it though. I really like it. Probably my top three Kamen Rider series. Kamen Rider is essentially, so there. If you know Power Rangers, if you're from the U.S., there's a Japanese Power Rangers, the original called Super Sentai, and it's the exact same show, but just in the original language. And then Super Sentai was inspired off of Kamen Rider, which are bug-themed masked motorbike riders that fight crime. They're more of like fight and evil organizations. So then Pochita becomes his heart, which something I feel is Pochita was already his heart because Pochita was the only thing that he had in the world. It is like you know how humans like I'm a human, what? You know how like we as humans like we talk about things we love as our heart, like oh I give you my heart, you know, like you love it. Pochita already like was Denji's heart in a way, like kind of like his soul. But now like they're literally one, which is I think it's kind of cool. So then Pochita in a dream speaks to Denji like, Denji, I'll give you my heart in exchange, show me your dreams. So of course we're seeing like a theme of the future, dreams, blah 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 blah. You get it. So then Denji goes like crazy, which reminds me of like an old shitty movie. Which like I feel like the inspiration and like all the chaos in these panels are like amazing. It's amazing the way that it's drawn. But I'm actually gonna skip forward a bit. Sorry. Because it's just like a fight scene. But he kills the zombie devil, and then we meet one of my favorite characters, Makima. And immediately, straight from the jump, Makima's kind of like an angelic character. You know, she's a very pretty lady. And here in the back, we have this light. Like she's like Denji's about to die, right? Like this is just in my head what I'm thinking. Denji's about to die, and then he sees this angel, right? And that angel is Makima. Then Makima gives her a hug. It gives him a hug. Sorry. And then it's like, oh, I can either kill you right. Makima tells Denji, I can either kill you right now or you become my pet, right? And Denji chooses like, oh, I'll be your pet because like he wants food and shit, you know. So then blah blah blah. Denji thinks he's in love. And something interesting here, like so they're going to go get udon, right? And yeah, another fight scene with the muscle devil. Characterization for Makima here, very commanding, very commanding. So let me just give you a quote. Um. Okay, Denji. I don't want my noodles to get soggy. You go kill the devil by yourself. Even though if Denji's eating too. So it's clear that Makima's rather selfish, right? Even if she's like the boss, like she'll just send Denji. And I mean, there's nothing really wrong with that, but it's the second part that's really shown. So it's, did you forget you're my pet? Only answer with yes or woof. I don't need a dog who says no. So again, we see that commanding side of Makima. And something I like is how no matter what expression she's showing, her eyes always stay the same. It's the same, like just like no matter what. I think I take the way I draw eyes inspiration from Makima. How no matter what, they just stay the same shape. I really like that. I think it has the sense. So spoilers, right? Makima's actually evil. Makima's evil, right? So I think this is good foreshadowing to show like how cold and how calculated she actually is, but also how seductive she is. In a single meeting with um Denji, already Denji thinks he's in love. So now Denji's mad. It's like saying, "Ah, she's treating me like a dog." You know? It's like, "Oh, I hate Makima." So it's like we see Denji's immaturity. Hi, Theo Twin. I know you're watching. So, um, Denji's immaturity. So Denji's immaturity, right? Kind of like, oh, I hate her, I love her, I hate her, I love her, which is something I used to be able to relate to. And I'm glad that I was able to move past from that and I was able to solidify my emotions and to not always blame other people for the way that I feel. You know? I feel like it was a big problem of mine in the past that it was always someone else's fault for the way I was feeling. Oh, this can't be my fault. Oh. I'm just able to I'm happy I'm able to take accountability now. So continuing my dad so okay, fight scene. Denji wants to run away. The girl beats him up. Denji goes full chainsaw. Ooh, chainsaw man time. Kills her. Oh no, kills the devil. The girl is alive. So then so then Makima says, your best after a bit of dialogue, your best friend is still alive inside you. I should probably fast forward. Sorry, it's gonna be like 30 minutes if we go through the entire book. So Makima is this really cold character, right? And immediately we can see her grooming, watching Denji, and it's like, what? So Denji asks Makima, what type of guy do you like? And then Makima says, with like, look, that same cold expression, eyes never changing. Oh, someone like this boy named Denji, and referring to the main character, right? Oh, I really like when they show Pochita at the end of like every segment, every scene. So it's like Denji's now he's a bit of a horn dog. Ooh, I don't know if you could hear that. I was doing like a cat call. Um, so then starts working for the Devil Hunters and meet this boy called Aki, who's like he reminds me of my friend Akmal. I'll be honest. Hi Akmal, if you're watching. No, Akmal doesn't like that. I know him. I know him. He just like he would swat the kiss away. Sorry, I just heard something. Thanks, my little brother. Continuing. So Denji gets his ass kicked by Aki, and he's like, "Oh, don't work here anymore if you're gonna be so shallow." And then Denji kicks Aki in the balls a bunch of times, and then Denji's like, "Oh, even if my reason's shallow, like uh, I'm um I'm willing to die to keep living like the way he is." You know, Akima's kind of cute in this panel. She looks so stupid. Oh, I don't think there she is. Hello. Yeah, I like that. That's profile picture material. I won't lie. So never ending eye. The eyes never change. The eyes never change. Oh, that's cool. All right, we're gonna skip a bit. big. So Aki owes Makima his life. So it's like I think Aki also has a crush on Makima. Denji says I want to touch some boobs. Good for you, Denji. Good for you. All right, sorry, skipped a bit. So Denji's thinking about dreams again. So it's like he's already achieved his dream of living a normal life, but he still feels like something is missing. So he wonders like, what's Aki's dream? What's the other devil hunter's dream? What's Makima's dream? Comes later. So then Denji's like, I want to touch some boobs. And then he realizes this isn't an impossible goal. He could so touch boobs. Right? It's a really silly thing, but like for Denji, this is special, you know? Because now that like he actually has a woman in his life, I think this is also cute. I think Makima's really cute. I don't like I know she's like super mega evil. But I don't know. She just seems sweet. Maybe maybe I'm falling for it like Denji did. So then they meet a new character named Power. She's a very loud person. And she's not a person. She's a devil in a human's body. So she's like really loud, very ignorant, very arrogant. Ooh, nice. Okay. So Denji's like, "Oh, we can't be friends." Then looks at the boobs. We can be friends. Kind of shallow of Denji. But I mean, again, we go back to that immaturity. Like he doesn't really care, to be honest. He doesn't really care because he's a selfish guy. I like how Denji isn't that righteous of a protagonist at all, like we see in most shonen or seinen, but instead he is a very shallow protagonist that later on learns to develop and learns like, oh no, okay. People make the argument that Denji doesn't change, but in fact he does change, but just not in the ways that you'd expect. Instead of his actions changing, his language changes, the way like his realization changes, such and such and such. But still, it's the beginning of the manga, so like he's still kind of like a loser boy. So then Power beats the fuck out of a sea cucumber devil that looks weirdly sexual. Heard somewhere that swearing actually. Like we've all heard of the study that like, wait, that just reminded me of Kamen Rider. Okay, new Kamen Rider series came out, right? Like the guy has like a belt like this. It's really cool. So then he goes like, I'm on it. Then he snaps and then he transforms. It's cool. You guys should watch it. You guys should really go watch it. It's called Kamen Rider Zets. You can watch it on zokaj.com. That's Zokaj. Zokaj.com. Kamen Rider Zets. Zets, Zetztz. Excuse me. So then Power, like, oh, I did it. The glory is mine. Ha 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 ha. And then they both get in trouble because they weren't supposed to kill that devil. And then they start blaming each other, and here a good piece of like more dialogue showcasing both Denji's inability to communicate and Power's arrogance and her ego, which is an interesting clash. It's like they're blaming each other, like Power's like just lying. So then Power and Denji make a deal that's like, oh, if you save my cat, I'll let you touch my boobs, right? And then Denji completely switches up, right? So then they head out to a um no, sorry. Now we cut to Makima. And like Makima's like, "Oh, I have two pets. One is interesting and the one other is promising." Right? And then Aki driving Makima around is like is explains Denji like explains the power system, like how devils are leveled in power. So it's like the more a devil's name is feared, the more it's like the more powerful it gets, which I think is cool. So, for example, a coffee devil, right, wouldn't be that powerful, but a car devil would be because there are more car accidents and more fear associated with cars instead of coffee. Sorry, hair in my mouth. Trust the process. That goes for anything. Trust the process. So, yeah, Aki's like bad mouthing Denji. Oh, he's a brat. He's a brat. So then now we cut back to Denji and Power, and Power slips up the tongue, like a slip of the tongue. Yeah, I love the way she talks to make herself seem more powerful, like seem more mature and more and smarter than others. When in reality, she's no different. You know, she's still like bratty. She's like loud. I mean, I'm loud. I think I'm loud. I think I'm loud. Maybe others might disagree. Maybe some might agree. It's cool how human perspective works. You know, I had a debate with a kid when maybe 2 years ago or a year ago. I think it was a year ago about what's the difference between humans and animals. And although I still agree that humans are no different than animals, he turned to religion a lot. Like, oh, my religion says this. I feel if you bring religion into a debate, like, I just don't feel like that's a good point to make because your religion is subjective, right? You may believe it's objective, but when we actually look at it, it's subjective. You know, like I might not believe in your religion, so how does your that point like have anything to do with it, right? But I was thinking about it a bit again, and the thing that makes humans different from us, from other animals, and not like we're better or we're more special, but the thing that the way that we differ as animals is, I feel it's our culture, it's our, I mean, I'm sure like you feel it, but it's difficult to name, you know? It's our culture, it's our empathy, it's like just how complex we are. Like sure, other animals can get depressed, but other animals at the same time don't think about what like it all means. What I think it all means? I think we're here to enjoy the ride. I do believe that there's a God, yeah, and I think maybe we go to heaven or I don't think an all-loving God would bring us to hell. I think that's just a bit silly. Sorry. Sorry guys, sorry, I like sniffing my own armpits. Oh, I don't. But like, was that gross? I'm sorry if you guys thought that was gross. I should have either cut or like some, I don't know. Anyways, um, right. Other animals don't like, they don't think as hard as we do. And of course, I could be wrong on this. But from what I know, and to the extent of my knowledge, other animals mostly act off of their instinct, while humans act on a combination of their instinct and their beliefs. Hmm. Checkmate, liberals. Um. Oh, whoa! Charlie Kirk died. That was insane. Okay, no, it looks like I'm happy about it. I'm not happy that he's dead. Like, no. Hmm. I gotta be careful with my wording here. It's not that I'm happy that someone else died, but I'm happy that it was him in specific. It's like if Donald Trump were to get shot, I wouldn't mind, right? Sure, sucks. But his life has negatively impacted so many people, and he has spread so much hate and so much misinformation that it's difficult to feel something for them, right? I feel like I'm able to recognize as my to myself that I am not perfect and I will not be able to help everyone. Not everyone is like able to be saved. So looking at it, like when I see someone who's spreading so much misinformation, so much hate, I'm just looking at myself right now. I think, do you guys ever do that? I feel like we do that a lot. I'm gonna try and look at the camera more. I feel like okay, no, I don't like that. Um, I feel like the way when there's someone spreading so much hate, so much misinformation, and like who supports Nazi ideals, like he won't say it, but he supports it. Just like the way his talking points, such and such, and someone who won't even challenge some who's actually on a skill level, right? I like my hair like this. I'm very vain. I think I'm a very vain. I'm a very prideful person. Or maybe it's just like a mixture of self hatred and self judgment. 6, 7. Um, we'll get back to chainsawman soon. I just want to talk about. I think like it's to be expected. I find it a bit ironic how this guy was like he's the same person who said gun violence, deaths caused by gun violence is a tragic end, but it like it's a part of our Second Amendment, right? And then this is the same guy who said that, and then now he gets shot in the neck. Dude, he gets shot, and it's like, who's wow, dude, that could happen to any politician or like huge figure. That could have happened to Trump. Okay, no, I feel like that was a bit mean. But at the same time, does Trump care about me? Does he care about what I think? Not at all. Not at all. But I think it's not about what he thinks of me, but what I think of myself. To think of that of another human being, no matter how awful they are, Trump deserves the worst. Looking at it objectively, right? He's done nothing but bad, from what I know. He does nothing but bad, and he's caused so much pain to so many people, right? To so many families, and he's ruined so much. And it's not even a fact that like I disagree with his beliefs, right? He believes something else. Okay, good for you, pal. Good for you. But more of he will then act against Constitution. He's just doing whatever the fuck he wants because he's pushing the boundaries, right? Like I heard that, and I'm pretty sure I'm not sure if I'm gonna get all the details of this correct or if this is old news or something. But he deported two kids like illegally. He illegally deported two kids, right? And the talking point was, oh, their mother doesn't have papers, right? They don't belong here, so we're gonna deport the mother. It's like, oh, we don't want to separate a family. We'll deport the kids too. But the thing is, like, the Supreme Court was like, yo, chill out, chill out, chill out. We're gonna think about it, right? We're gonna look at the kids. We're gonna look at the mom, and then make your decision, right? We'll talk to you in a week. And then Trump just does it next day. The Trump administration does it next day. And I'm like, whoa, come on, bro. They said give it a week. The point there isn't that he deported two kids, but he illegally deported two kids, even after being told to wait. He is going against the Supreme Court orders. Continuing with Chainsaw Man. I kind of enjoyed that little rant. Fuck Charlie Kirk. Condolences to your family, though. But fuck him. Yeah, Power, betrays Denji to save her cat. And then Denji's like on the verge of death. The devil is like, ooh, this blood is disgusting because bloods regenerate. Like the devils regenerate with blood. The devil eats the cat, and then Power's like, oh, I made a mistake. And then we get a bit of backstory. I think this is cute. So we get a bit of backstory and how Power for the first time is feeling something for a cat or for like someone else. It's a nice show of empathy. So it's like then Power sympathizes with Denji, and then they're about to fight the devil together. But then the devil eats Power, and then Denji goes full chainsaws, and then that's where the manga ends. Volume 1. Amazing, great setup. Some complaints. Too much on a cliffhanger. I feel like if it either ended with before them entering the house or it went on for a bit longer, that would have been nice. I feel like at least till the end of the fight. But it ends at the beginning of the fight, which always frustrates me because, like, whoa, fight's about to happen. Fight doesn't happen. I have the second volume, so I'll record a video tomorrow for y'all. But, final rating? There were a lot of subtle details that I liked. A lot of them. And it does great setup for the later in the story with amazing foreshadowing. This front was also amazing. The art was like, without question, some of the best I've ever seen. Um, what did it make me feel? Okay, I don't think that's the fairest judgment to make, but when I first read it, I was amazed. I was blown back. I felt like a little kid. Like, whoa, Chainsaw Man! It feels like something like you shouldn't be reading, but you're reading. Like when you're younging. Uh, like I think I'm still a younging, but like 6, 7. But like I've matured a lot in the past couple of years. Hello. Um, Thank you, Stella, for supporting me on making videos whenever I want. Um, Love you, and thanks to my pops to also supporting my videos. Like the creation of them. I don't know. I've always wanted. I'm just gonna do a small yap session, then I'll let y'all go. All right, or you could leave now. Either way, thank you for watching. Um, I've always wanted to make videos. Just like on what, you know? I talked about this in the description. So that's why I'm just gonna do what I want to do, you know? I'm gonna talk what I want to talk about. I might make game videos. I really like games. I think a lot of people like games. But at the same time, I don't know, like, most of y'all watch me because you know me, you know? And I don't feel like watching me play games would be the most interesting for you. I like this kind of conversation thing we have going, like conversation. I like it when you guys reply, like in your heads, you know, like you think about your own takes, and then what I want you to do is I want you to talk about it in the comments section. There was this one guy in the other video mentioning something I brought up in the video. I really liked that. It kind of like made me feel like I was seen, you know? I was like, yo, this guy watched the video. It's not like oh fine, like I'll give a like. And I was like, nice video. He's actually interested in it, you know? Um Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you tomorrow, maybe 6, 7. Sorry. What day is it today? Thursday. Tomorrow I'm gonna have a monster review for you guys. If I can. And we might do like a longer video, like maybe 40 minutes of like Chainsaw Man monster. How would you guys feel about that? We'll start with the monster. Ooh, write down in the comment section below and make sure you like and hit that subscribe button all game, bro. I'll phone it. I'll phone. No, but really, like, whether you guys want it split up or you want it together. Why am I asking you guys? This is my channel. Good night, everybody. Stay safe.